We're good? Good to go? All right, everybody clap. Woo! Hello and welcome to the Social Distance Sessions post-election comedy show. My name is Zett Ezra Ansley, streaming live in our community. If you don't know what that is referring to, Rudy Giuliani wanted to do a press conference at the Four Seasons, and someone from his team accidentally booked him at the Four Seasons Total Landscaping. So they ended up doing the press conference in the alley between in the landscaping place that was also between a dildo store and a crematorium. Woo! Now, I don't think we're between a sex toy store and a crematorium physically, but like philosophically, I think like at all times, aren't we always between a cock and a charred place? Does everybody here remember where they were when they learned that Biden won? I remember where I was. I was bringing a garbage bag full of legal ballots with Biden's name on them that I just found to the election center. So I was real excited. I was real happy. And so the Republicans lost the presidency, and it's important to remember that they are not feeling the best right now. Their God just lost, so it's important to not say mean things to them. Like, don't go up to a Trump supporter and say, "You sad loser, you lost, you losing loser." Not nice. Don't say that. Don't say things like, "You tried to rig the election by intimidating voters, gerrymandering, gutting the USPS, and taking away voting stations that caused long lines, and you still lost." Suck, you losers. Don't say that kind of stuff. Don't, for example, just walk up to a Trump supporter who's wearing the stuff and play this on your phone. Hang on. We'll get there. Or not. It was the Price is Right losing theme. It's not going to do it. I don't know why. That's fine. That's very unfortunate. That was going to be very funny. But I do get why. I'm really mad that didn't work. I do get why Trump supporters, I do get why you voted for him last time and this time. My dad doesn't love me either. That was okay. But I deal with that in a simpler way. I don't deal with that by being mean to others. I deal with that by having sex with men who look like my dad. But just a question for any Trump supporters that may be watching right now. You know Trump is not going to have sex with you, right? You're aware of that? You're much too old for him. I realize that I'm in my life I've come out as gay and asexual and non-binary and pansexual, and I've changed. I'm like the Thanos of queers. One of the difficulties of being non-binary, besides the constant misgendering and even myself misgendering myself and not figuring out a name for 3 tries, I think hopefully a non-binary person will agree with me. It's the sex that makes it weird. Especially what they call you during sex, because it can get kind of confusing. Just say, yeah, give it to me, parent. You're so good at this, partner. I really like you, Captain. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I've recently come out as pansexual. I recently got into being polyamorous. I'm bored, so I'm getting into puppetry. I've started pickling things. Again, I'm bored. Making pickles and pickling just whatever. Thank you. If anybody watching that at home doesn't quite get that joke or doesn't think it's funny, go ahead and comment and tell me about your pee. That's my jokes. Thank you for not applauding. Yes, thank you. So tonight's show, all the money that you donate to us from tonight's show is going to go towards the Montana Racial Equity Project. If you would like to give to that, you can go to either the event on Facebook, the event for this, or you can go to the ZAC website, or you can go to this website, givebutter.com/U, capital Z, 9, capital H, I, capital F. Super easy to remember. Just pause the screen. Okay. And also, I want to thank Romer's Point S Tire and Auto Service. They probably won't let you hold a press conference outside of their place, but you can ask. That they're sponsoring us, so thank you, Romer's Point S Tire and Auto Service. It's a long name. So our first comedian for tonight has a podcast called End of Show. It's called End of Show, and it
Give up for Zett, everybody. A self-deprecating sense of humor. Really hate that about myself. Yeah, so we finally got rid of Trump. Yeah, so what now? What are we going to do now? I'm glad we narrowly avoided the fall of democracy. I was actually asking myself in September if I was more excited for the fall of civilization or for the fall of the season. I decided both. I'll drink a pumpkin spice apple cider while watching the world burn. That's fine. Yeah. For some reason, my 12-year-old nephew is watching tonight, so it's not my choice. I usually like to tell him my dirty jokes one-on-one, but I guess I'll tell them to you guys too. That's fine. Yeah. So I measured my dick the other day. I was kind of excited because it was like 10.5 inches. Then I realized he's using the metric side of the ruler. My dick is a lot like Sasquatch. All the pictures of it are blurry. It resides in a forest, and only a couple weirdos on the outskirts of town has actually seen it. So, it's my dating pool. If you leave a hooker without paying, is that called a vagina dash? Yeah. Anybody else play that game Smear the Queer as a kid? What the fuck? Like, what adult, as kids we don't know better, what adult is letting us play this fucking game? I just feel like the kids that were way too into that game as kids are Trump supporters now, so. Yeah, I feel like Trump and his supporters have just been playing like a 4-year-long game of Smear the Liberal. Well, we're just trying to play Operation with America being the patient. And some of us are just trying to play Pokemon Go, so anybody? I'm more of a Digimon fan than a Pokemon fan, so I developed my own app called Digimon Run. I was also advised by my app advisor. I have an app advisor. His name's Jeremy from Utah. He told me I need to get into the older demographic, so I'm developing apps for older people, like Pong, Take a Nap, or like Pac-Man, Drop Dead for the super elderly. I'm also developing a smart cock ring. Give you some useful, you put it on, it gives you some useful information, like how many pumps you get through, how much semen you ejaculate, how many tears you cry afterwards. It also has, if you get the advanced version, it also has a GPS system to help you find the clitoris, so. Yeah. So yeah, we finally got rid of Trump. Give it up for that, everybody again. Yeah. I feel like he's just like the kid that kid that comes uninvited into your house and just messes up everything, screws up all your toys, and then just leaves for you to clean up the mess. Fucking Trump. Can we just pretend we skipped directly from Obama to Biden and just forget these last 4 years? Maybe. Some people say the Trump presidency was like a golden age of comedy. Not really. Jokes are just how us comedians deal with pain. So we just had a lot of jokes about that. I don't know. I don't know where that joke was going. I'll give up on that one. But fun fact, I guess. Trump was born in 1946, the year after the Nazis were defeated. Coincidence? Yeah, probably, actually. But I don't know. I like the narrative that he was like the reincarnation of Hitler, and the ghosts of Truman, of Harry Truman, and Winston Churchill got together to create the coronavirus to stop him. No. I mean, there's a lot of collateral damage, but Truman's used to collateral damage after dropping the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah. We were the bad guys in that situation, okay? Japan was also the bad guys, but if Magneto fights Dr. Doom, they're still both the bad guys. Yeah, they are. Okay. I think Dr. Doom gets more respect than he deserves. You know who needs more respect? Mr. Freeze. It should be Dr. Freeze for one. He went to school for 8 years, studied cryogenetics, yeah. Studied, and he doesn't get to be called Dr. Freeze, it's called just plain old Mr. Freeze. Dr. Doom didn't even finish school. He blew up a lab or something and got kicked out. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah. I'm a nerd. It's fine. Anybody excited for Thanksgiving coming up? I kind of feel Thanksgiving's pain, also being a middle child. Like Halloween and Christmas get all the attention. Halloween gets in trouble for poison candy and slutty costumes and devil worship. And Christmas gets all the attention because of all the gifts. That just leaves Thanksgiving. Nobody really cares that much about Thanksgiving. So much so that Thanksgiving had to invent an imaginary friend, Black Friday, just to get attention. Because Black Fridays, yeah. Money's imaginary, everybody. Fucking money. Okay. Everybody loves money in this room, apparently. Bunch of money lovers. Yeah. Good for you. I love it. I just hate not having it. So it's a real struggle. Yeah. So for me, Christians and people, Potterheads, people that are really into Harry Potter are kind of similar. Like their books are okay, but I don't know if I want to live by either one of their books. I don't want to live by the Harry Potter or the Bible. And also the author of both books have pretty antiquated views. Fuck J.K. Rowling. I don't want to say fuck God, but I will. I just did. No, okay, God's okay. He's nice. Jesus and everything. I wonder, like, how long does it take for a religion to be considered a religion and not just a cult? Like, how long after Jesus died, how long after Christianity was founded by Jesus and his 12 disciples, Mary, Paul, Joseph, Frodo, Bilbo, Gandalf, Thor, Randall, Hermione, Harry, Benjamin, Paul, Peter. How long after Christianity was founded, it become like an actual religion? It's not just like a weird cult founded by a guy, just a so-called humble carpenter who just kept on claiming he was the son of God, which I haven't seen the birth certificate, so I'm not so sure yet. I guess they didn't have Maury back then, so they couldn't really like take a DNA test. Pretty sure Mary was just lying to Joseph. Yeah. I just want to know. I want to know because I recently started my own one-man religion. I guess it would be called a cult probably right now, but it's called Timism. We have 100 commandments, so it's safe to say we're 10 times better than Christianity. Yeah. We're also better than Scientology. But that's not hard. I mean, I don't know. They're all kind of similar. Like, we all have weird, like, rules that we ought to live by. Like, Christians have that thing about, like, eating Jesus's flesh and drinking his blood, which is just, like, stale crackers and low-grade wine. Like, I'm pretty sure they're so stale because they're over 2,000 years old, so, yeah. The Scientology has, like, I don't know what rules they have. I didn't do any research. And Timism has a rule about only sleeping naked once a month after making a blood sacrifice to a werewolf. I mean, obviously, Scientology has better celebrities than Timism. Like, they have Tom Cruise, John Travolta, other people. And Tim, I've just been tweeting a lot to my celebrity doppelganger, Michael Cera. He hasn't got back to me yet, so. And I guess Christianity has Kirk Cameron, or I don't know. They also have Kevin Sorbo, TV's Hercules, who decided to go from like playing the Son of a God to going to be really into like a different Son of a God. Which be like if I like played the Joker in a Batman movie and I just became a juggalo afterwards. Yeah. I love Christmas, but also fuck Christmas. Because it takes away like I said, it takes away the spotlight from Thanksgiving. And also another very important holiday in Timism, Timsgiving. My birthday, December 13th, or the day I was given to the world. But I really think we need to stop like this white lie we've been perpetuating about Christmas. The white lie that white people are at all involved in Christmas. You know, like Jesus wasn't white. Like he came from the Middle East. Contrary to the pictures hanging in your grandma's bathroom watching you pee, he's not white. The three wise men weren't white. They came from Asia, I guess, or somewhere. Asia, Africa, Mars. I think that sounds right. And then even Santa Claus is not white. Santa Claus is from Turkey. St. Nicholas from Turkey. He's not white. I mean, I'll give us Frosty the Snowman. I'll give us that. But even he was like half magic. And also he hung out with kids like all the time, so read whatever chapter you want out of that book. They all end with him going to prison. Yeah, I'm going hard after Frosty. Also, screw Rudolph. What? We got a Rudolph fan in here. Yeah. Sorry. I just find it weird that like the whole thing is about them ostracizing Rudolph, the whole special, until they need him for something. They're like, oh, we hate you, but your bright nose can now lead us through and help us deliver presents, so I guess we kind of like you now. You're fine. But we're going to go back to hating you afterwards. So it's basically like when we freed the slaves. No? Okay. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. See where I'm at. I asked her what she wanted me to say about her. She said she's just existing, which I think is the energy all of us have right now. Give it up for Amanda Barr, everybody.
Woo! I accidentally wore the tie-on mask that I can't take off all the way, so you get this little bit of rainbow plaid here. When I was thinking about what to say up here tonight, I remembered this story from when I was, I think, in middle school. No, definitely high school, because it was 2000, and I can't math anymore. But it was during the 2000 election, and my uncle, who doesn't talk a lot, he's maybe said 50 words to me my entire life, all of which were the Who's on First, Abbott and Costello bit, word for word, in complete monotone. Like, who's on first? No. Who's on second? That kind of stuff. On a ski lift from the bottom of the mountain to the top. And it was insane and also hilarious. So this uncle got in a car accident like 5-6 days after the 2000 election. That was the Gore-Bush one with the hanging chads. If you're not even old enough to remember that. He hit a deer, and the deer was a big deer, big rack. Montanans know this, right? We know about antlers. And it pinned him into his truck, so he had to be extracted by the paramedics and the fire truck and everything. And when they got him out, and they had him, and they were doing the check, and they're like, okay, what's your name? What day is it? Who's the president? And this guy who doesn't really speak, and I think he might know comedy. He definitely knows Abbott and Costello. He apparently just looked at the paramedic and goes, who even knows these days? Which is, to this day, the funniest joke my family knows. They retell it constantly. And, I mean, where we are today kind of brings me back to that, because we don't have hanging chads. We just have voter fraud with no proof, which is the hanging chad of 2020, because everything is insane, just totally off kilter. Technically, we think Biden won the election, but there's a whole lot of people out there going, no, he didn't. Lies. I won. It's me. Kind of like when I was 13 and my parents did a remodel in the house and built me a totally new bedroom in the attic. And I suddenly had like this hormonal surge where I was like, no, this is my bedroom. I grew up here. I can't leave it. I can't do it. I can't handle it. And so I like threw myself on the floor in all of my gothy makeup and black clothing and lit every candle I had and just sobbed and like clinging, going, no, I will not leave. But the difference in Trump doing that is I was a 13-year-old girl. And it was still inappropriate then. When a grown-ass man is doing that, no, I won't leave. And we're probably going to see him escorted out by, like, Secret Service. That's beyond sad. That's just, I mean, I have always felt like, ooh, about 13-year-old me going, oh, that's so pathetic. I don't even know how to feel about Trump doing it. I'm just like, I don't even think that's pathetic. There isn't a word for it yet. So 2020 is the year where we might have to invent new words for sad and pathetic and insane because they don't quite cover it. Which in itself, like I say I'm just existing because I hit my coping point like 3 months ago. And ever since then, I've been that dog in the meme going, this is fine. Every week I see my therapist on Zoom now, and he sees me and he's like, you just seem so calm. You're always smiling. I'm like, yeah, this is my existence now. I don't feel anything anymore. I'm fine. This is fine. It's fine. I'm pretty sure as soon as classes end and I don't have to teach anymore, I'm just going to collapse. I'm going to end up back in the psych ward, which in every hospital ever, they always refer to the psych ward. They don't call it the psych ward. They call it the 5th floor or the 6th floor because they don't want you getting upset. But what I can tell you from my time in a psych ward is it was awesome. It really was. It was back in Iowa where I was living at the time, but they had a hot tub. Like, not even kidding. There was a actual, like, not a jacuzzi, like a hot tub for crazy people. I was like, you want me to not come back here? I don't have one of those. You serve me 3 meals a day plus a snack if I want it. And I can request anything I want for those meals. The first thing I asked when I got up there was like, can I have pancakes? Any time of the day? And they said, yes, whatever you'll eat. And, you know, I was seriously depressed. I had just come out of a 3-day coma from a suicide attempt. But beyond those feelings, I was inside going, yes, fucking love pancakes. I just didn't want to leave. I had a nice view from my room. And between the pancakes and the hot tub, I'm sort of like, you know, not so bad. You know, I could go back. They had tranquilizers. And you didn't have to do group therapy if you didn't want to, which I never wanted to because I don't like crazy people. They're crazy. I don't want to be around them. And they kind of coddle you. You don't have to wear any, you can't wear any clothing with like metal in it or strings or zippers or anything you could hurt yourself with. So by law, no bra. You don't have to wear like real pants. They give you some scrubs. So you're just like lounging in your most comfy clothing. No one's asking you to shower. You can't use a razor. So it's like you're not supposed to shave. You don't even have to take care of yourself. It's like a spa. But there is one person who is going to scream down the hallway all night. So, little negative there. Though I will have to say, now is not the time where I would want to go to the psych ward. One of my students currently works at one of the hospitals here in town, and she said the whole security staff has COVID right now. The entire security staff, which is not what you want to hear about a hospital so much. Like, is it going to make its round? Who's it going to make its rounds through next? Like, is all of neurology going to have COVID? Like, what if I get in a car wreck or something and hurt my head? What if all of neurology has COVID? They're just like, sorry, we can't work on you right now. Which, oh God, it's so depressing. I might need to go back to the psych ward. Shit. Gotta make sure to bring my bathing suit this time. Had to do like the wet t-shirt thing when I was there, because I did not pack for my suicide. I just didn't. I went in unconscious, so I didn't know I was in. I woke up in the same underwear I'd been wearing 3 days earlier. I'm just like, oh, that's gotta be really stanky right now. Shit. That's why your mom tells you to always wear clean underwear. You never know when you're gonna end up in a coma for several days wearing the same underwear. And you know that someone was up in there because I had a catheter for a while. Like, oh, I wish I'd been wearing a better pair. These are like my I need to do laundry pair, because I was too depressed before that to do laundry. Yeah, I did not plan really well for that. I mean, I didn't try to plan really well for it because I didn't mean it to happen. It was sort of a thing with my ex-husband being a real douchebag. I wonder what he's doing right now. He lives in, I think, Huntsville, Alabama now. They didn't do so well in the election either. But one of the things he said to me before he left, telling me, "You're worthless, go kill yourself," when he was sleeping with my maid of honor, he said, "You're a terrible wife. You treat me like your slave." This in relation to me going, "You know, you live here too. Could you take out the garbage?" And I wonder how he's faring now, having come from Iowa where it's like 99% white, and living in the deep South where it is not 99% white. And I really, part of me kind of hopes that he pulls that thing, like, "You treat me like your slave for taking out that garbage," in Alabama. Because I like picturing the idea of him just getting beat up. He's a real turd. One of his reasonings too was that he didn't want a disabled wife. He didn't deserve a disabled wife. I have epilepsy, which was really ironic because he has Tourette's. I'm not visibly disabled. You can't look at me and say I'm disabled. I mean, I have my moments, but he has a permanent tic like this. So having someone who looks like this tell you, "I don't deserve a disabled wife," is honestly, like, at the time it was upsetting, but now it's really funny. Because, dude, have you looked in the mirror ever, or does it stay still because your head's like this? And this is totally not to make fun of any disabled person, because clearly I'm one of them, but the irony is what gets me. Like, I married you despite the fact that you're a bobblehead, but you can't handle the fact that sometimes I can't play a video game because it's got flashy lights? That's a hardship for you? Wow. That's some privilege there. So I decided, well, one, I'm not going to get married again, and two, fuck white men. What is up with white men? I was on Twitter yesterday evening, and my favorite thing in the world is listening to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, because I'm nerdy and I like comedy. Best thing in the world. And there's Peter Sagal, the host, going, "I'm so sorry, Jeffrey Toobin, that you got fired for masturbating on a Zoom call." And then doubling down when you found out your camera was on and just zooming in. And so he gets fired for this, and all of these male white guys in media apologize to him. They're like, "We're so sorry. You're so brilliant. You taught us so much." And it's like, what did he teach you? Did he teach you, like, that you can, as long as you're zooming from home, you can whip it out? Like, No, don't apologize to him. You gotta stop doing that, guys. I know you can convince yourselves of anything. I don't know if it's a man thing or if it's just a human thing, that you can convince yourselves of anything that it's okay because of XYZ, like my ex-husband. It's okay that I slept with your best friend and maid of honor because I don't deserve to have a disabled wife and you use me as your slave. It's that logic thing. It doesn't work. And it's okay that Trump is a racist and has 3 wives, and that's not super Christian, and he had an affair with a porn star. Some reason that I don't understand. I can't tell you what it is, but there's some kind of like misfiring logic reasoning here that I learned about 10 years ago with my ex-husband, and I still haven't been able to figure out. I'm just observing and going, why are men? Why? Why are white women to that? Like, more of us voted for Trump this time. Why? I don't understand people, which is probably why I don't work with people usually. I work in an art studio with non-people objects, and then I put my stuff up so that people can look at it, and I can hide in the bathroom during the opening. And then I come up here where I can't see any of the people and just talk at a really bright light, which is cool. Yeah, and I just complain about people, all of the people. Though my other favorite thing is to go on Reddit to the Am I the Asshole forum. Yes. I don't know if anyone saw this the other day, but there was a guy who's like, am I the asshole for throwing my girlfriend out when I found out she was wiping her ass? Like, she was what? And she'd emptied his sock drawer completely. Like, she didn't even try replacing them. She'd used all of his socks, his gym socks, his socks. And then she managed to convince all of his friends, his family, to call him an asshole for him going, oh, honey, no, we have to break up. Some of these stories are just so terrible. It's so hilarious. And also it makes me question humanity even more. Like, how do we think we're the top species when we're doing things like wiping our asses with our boyfriend's socks? That doesn't really seem to me like we are the higher intelligence. I mean, my cat is smarter than that. He digs in a box, poops, and then just buries it. He's smarter than that guy's ex-girlfriend. He's an idiot, my cat. He's not that bright, but he manages somehow. His brain's like the size of a peanut. So I don't have a lot of faith in humanity or where the world's going, but I will stay on like Twitter and Facebook and make fun of it. Well, with that, I don't know who's coming after me. I don't know why I don't pay attention to these things, but I get here. So I heard something. Maddie Gillespie? Abby? Oh, it's Abby Gillespie. Oh, I know who you are. It's Abby Gillespie. The masks are like, you sound like the mom from Peanuts. So I apologize. I'm terrible at this, and gotta figure my shit out. But clearly, it's not happening now. So, Abby, well, I present you. Abby Gillespie, everyone.
Woo! Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm Maddie Gillespie. Hi, everyone. Wow. Your ex-husband fucking sucks. I hope that you were actually the person who was wiping your ass with his gym socks. Every time I hear stories about that, I'm just not shocked. I'm never being like, but was he white? We all know, okay? Fuck. Well, the election, it's, over. We're all dead on the inside, and that's coming from a comedian. This is all the comedians are like, yeah. it's hard being a comedian and doing comedy in front of comedians because it's the holiday season, so we joke about having fucked up families. It's a live stream. Nobody that we know is watching. And so all the comedians are just like, It's like, haha, family joke, my dad doesn't love me. We're like, yes. This is just therapy. Yeah, well, you know shit is bad when Georgia goes blue, right? Like, that is a pretty good measure that this country's a little off when Georgia's like, I feel like maybe we should stop this. There was that moment, there was just a single moment that people thought Texas was gonna go blue. That's insane! That's so fucking crazy. Texas, there was a moment, even the moment, it was like, when Texas goes blue. That sounds like a Western. Like, all of these Republicans are just crying, right? They're just throwing tantrums. But we all know that there's only one Republican crying to mommy. Oh, did nobody get that Pence joke? Pence is crazy. And he's MIA. Nobody even knows where he's at. He's like, fuck this, I'm out. And I hate that the New York Times has been talking. They've been like, well, what happens if Trump runs again in 4 years? Don't give him those fucking ideas. What are you doing? They were the ones that introduced, like, hey, are you going to concede? And all of a sudden he was like, oh, no, I'm not. No, that was all reporters being like, here's the worst case scenario. Are you going to do that? Trump's like, that's a really good point. I never thought of it like that. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't know. These last 2 weeks have been more confusing than when I found out that there's no such thing as a pickle plant. They're just cucumbers. You guys are laughing, but I know there's one person, where's the camera? There's one person at home who is shocked right now. Pickles are just cucumbers, and that's fucked. And I'm taking a moment from this political monologue to talk about this, okay? Like, also I didn't find this out until college. And at that point, I already marked myself as a comedian. So everyone's like, you're joking, right? And I'm like, of course. But let me talk about it more because I'm a little confused. Like, there's pickled asparagus. I thought that was just from pickle juice, from the pickle plant. This is bullshit. I don't know who called it that, but that's garbage. Anyway, it's just cucumber imposters. I want everybody to know that. And I want you to DM me if I just shared the good news with you, because I'm going to save your ass from an embarrassing moment in a few years. God. I think that the reason Trump isn't conceding, though, is that he's getting the words a little mixed up. I'm pretty sure Trump is confusing the word concede with consent. He's like, I never concede. I don't care about conceding. Everybody cares about conceding all of a sudden. Too real. He's a rapist, this one. That he was just like, my late friend Jeffrey, before Hillary killed them in his jail cell, told me never to concede. It's not important. Melania, you can back me up on this, right? Crickets. I know that he's like going to Mar-a-Lago soon, and people are making bets. Like, it was Michael Cohen, his ex-lawyer, who was saying that Trump's going to go to Mar-a-Lago and he's not going to go back to the White House because he's that much of a sore loser. He doesn't want to go back where he's just going to get kicked out. And I think that's a really interesting bet. But the thing that makes me more excited about that is that I like to think that Trump's ex-cabinet just has like a fight club. And they all get together and they all just like fucking have poker night and take bets and like stab voodoo dolls. And that's why, Fauci is like, please fire me. Please fire me. I want to go fuck it up. I don't know. I think a new name for the Republican Party really should be the old persons in the Pasty Street gang. I feel like that can be like one of the gangs in the Western when Texas goes blue. Old man and the Pacey Street Gang. It's garbage. There was a person on Facebook I saw. It was an older woman, clearly conservative, and she was saying, you know, God is pissed off. Biden got elected. Everything's going to hell. There's hurricanes. There's all this shit. And no one was engaging with her, which I thought was interesting, so I did. And I was like, you know, I think you have a really good point. There are hurricanes. God must be pissed. God also just sent out a pandemic to kill people just like you. Tell me, how does that work? And she goes, I'm not going to concede. I hate conceding. I don't know. Republicans did really good this cycle, though. Like, that's the thing that's really surprising is that Trump is going off the rails. He's such a narcissist that he thinks, he's like, well, how does this make sense? Oh, the Republicans got seats, so that doesn't make sense. I'm like, oh, honey, no. They hate you now. You did bad. And now I feel like it's nice because now all of these Republicans finally know how it feels for people to be in the closet. You know, they go into the booths and they're like, okay, I'm voting for Joe Biden. It's just like a closet Trump hater. Have to carry that. Man, you know, this is crazy because this is a room full of how many comedians? 5? You guys are dead. Help me out. Fucking hell. The people at home are like, wow, these people are fucking bombing. It's because you assholes. Oh my God, this is a nightmare, right? Like live streaming, we're so desperate. Comedians are so desperate to get on stage. No, but the Republicans did great in Montana. Really, really great in Montana. I mean, the whole ticket went red. And now they're all gearing up for the legislative session. And the thing that I was working on for the past few months was I-190 and CI-118, the marijuana initiatives, which passed. Fuck yeah, woo. Okay, if that's the engagement I'm going to get from you guys, make it louder. Thank you. It's true. I'm fucking stoked. And the very next day, the Republicans drafted how they're going to repeal it in the legislative session. If you don't laugh, you know, what's the saying? Like, if we don't laugh, we kill each other with guns. I think that's how it goes, right? No, I just think it's crazy. I think that now that we have, that was the thing I was so excited to tell my friends about. Like, yeah, Montana's red, but we always have a blue governor. It's really purple. Like, I can't even say that shit anymore. Now we have Gianforte. The only good thing the Republicans gave to us the past 4 years was, like, nicknaming politicians. I think we should continue with that. Like, you know, Governor Thumbface Gianforte. Steve definitely fucks his mother Danes. He does, okay. Oh, whatever. You know his computer's always open to a MILF tab. Give me a fucking break. What's his dad's name? Well, so I retract my comment. He definitely fucks his dad. He's like, Claire. No. Too real. How dare you, Abby, get on that stage and insult somebody who fucks their parents like that? Horrible Christian. I think that Greg Gianforte is the only person in Montana who actively tries to hit deer. Do you know what I mean? Just gets the, like, snowplow on and just goes for a cruise at night. I mean, these Republicans, like, Montana finally was like, you know, we need to protect our public lands, which I think is really ironic, that everybody went red, but everybody was like, we really need to support our public lands. Okay, whatever floats your boat. You guys are going to die tomorrow anyway. Oh, somebody clapped. That's naughty. No, I just think that it's interesting, and that's why I was working on these initiatives for marijuana anyway, because if you didn't know, 50% of the revenue from the recreational marijuana sales, is going to be going directly to Montana conservation. Like, they forecasted that all of our lands was going to get sold off, so they're like, here is the perfect solution. This is how we're going to get $250 million within 4 years to, like, finally put towards our land. And Republicans are like, fuck you. No. How am I going to get reelected? How am I going to block off people getting to streams and shit? You can't do that. You can't do that to me. Republicans are like, no, we like our land to go to Texas, okay? Poor people shouldn't be hiking, they should be working. Hashtag get the economy running, am I right? Republicans are, it's so fresh. I come from a very conservative family, and this is also why they don't know I do comedy. If you don't laugh, they'll shoot you with a gun. No, but coming from a conservative family is a real nightmare. But I always thought growing up, like, Republican people are, like, fine, but people just disagree about taxes. Like, that's how I was raised. Do you know how much money I would fucking pay in taxes for everything to just be about taxes? And I think the correct conservative answer is very little. I don't think you want to pay taxes. They don't give a fuck about black people. I love how they're just like, recount. And there's people in the South like Lindsey Graham who's like, no, don't recount. I didn't even make it almost. Oh, wow, you guys do not pay attention to the news. Oh, fuck. Have you guys seen Gianforte's mugshot? He looks like a thumb. Can we just talk about this? I want to have a moment of silence for how he just is a thumb-faced asshole. He's smiling in that mugshot like, like, you know, he just got out of the back room from doing a cop a favor where the cop needed to turn off the body cam. Greg Gianforte is the only person who's like, hey, officer, can you please turn off your body cam? Greg Gianforte doesn't care about public lands. I think that among his hobbies of hunting down deer with his car, I think must be, like body slamming bears, Just like, well, that bear was asking for it. He asked me a really hard question and made direct eye contact, so fuck you. Christ. Well, this was so much fun to do comedy in front of comedians for a political show for comedians who don't follow politics. This was outstanding. Thank you so much for letting me be here. Yeah, thank you for the applause. You owe me. Applause so people at home don't think that I'm bombing. You guys are pathetic. Okay, I would really like to announce our man, Tech Savvy, and who's Tech Savvy? I'm glad you asked, because he is lead anchor of the Social Distance News. So give it up for him, but mostly give it up for me, and also follow me on Instagram at Gillespie Comedy. So, woo! Yeah! Is this over here? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Abby. Keep it going for Abby. Welcome to Telling the Truth with Tech. I am your host, Tech Savvy, lead anchor for Social Distance News Network. We provide a different perspective on the news, a socially distant perspective, mainly because we don't like people, so we like doing the news from the distance. That is our slogan, news from the distance. Our main concern here at the Social Distance News Network is our divided America. Because America is the greatest country in the world. If we all just work together, there is nothing that we can't accomplish. But unfortunately, there are people who want to tear us apart. We can't give in to these enemies. We can't let them win. It's like we're living in two parallel realities here in America. There's two Americas. Some Americans get their news from Rachel Maddow, and those people are smart. Some people get their news from Sean Hannity, and those people are not. But yeah, those are the people that are worried about Antifa running around and scatter, because that's the truth. Now would be a good opportunity to let you all know that you can follow me on Parler. Yes, it's pronounced Parler. That's weird. That's Parler. And now I'd like you all to turn your attention to our virtual big board. Our virtual big board here, you'll have to imagine it because it is virtual. But one thing I want to say about all the land that is represented on this virtual big board, from the top to the bottom, this is all native land. Hundreds of years ago, Europeans came over here and parked their countries on top of it. But it's worked out perfectly. There's been no repercussions or issues at all to this day. In a couple weeks will be Thanksgiving. You can hear the story about it then. But this is true. On CNN, during the election coverage, they were breaking down the percentages of how people had voted, and they had whites and blacks and Hispanics and Asians, and they called Native Americans something else. And CNN said, oh, we meant it as a compliment. We meant to say, those Native Americans are something else. It's getting to be the Halloween season, Thanksgiving. This is the time of year when there are pumpkins in the grocery store. And we've done an investigative report, and it turns out that pumpkins can be used as food. It's true. It's called pumpkin whiskey stew. It turns out that pumpkins can be used to make pumpkin pie. I always thought that was just an expression. But what part of the pumpkin do you actually use? I mean, what do you eat, you know? All I know about pumpkins is you cut off the top, and inside is that sticky, stringy, stinky stuff, and the seeds. And I know you can eat the seeds. You rinse them off, put them on a cookie sheet in a hot oven until they start to smoke and burn because you forgot about them because of the whiskey. Then you go down to the gas station and you buy a bag for $1.99. Now is the time for a word from our sponsor, duck fillet. Duck fillet, they're delicious. Our slogan is, fuck Chick-fil-A. And now to some national news. We just have been through a big presidential election. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Joe Biden was a person who has been through and lived and endured through many personal tragedies. And Donald Trump is a person who has caused many personal tragedies. Joe Biden, there's a big controversy. He is not able to receive the presidential daily briefings, which is a shame because Donald Trump isn't even reading them. Let's return back to our big board here. We'll see here in Nebraska. In Nebraska, they had just found the bodies of 40 Trump supporters who froze to death when they were left behind at a rally at the airport. He won't just kill you with COVID. And if you notice our big board here, it's all red. It's turned all red. Don't be alarmed, that's just COVID. But what is Trump up to? You know, he's up to something. He's appointing his loyalists to the Pentagon. There's some kind of shady stuff going on there. And we can't keep counting on Four Seasons Total Landscaping levels of incompetence all the time. You know, something's going on there. We have to worry about. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. It was really sad. The sad thing is they couldn't even fit her into the coffin because when she died, she went to rigor mortis in a plank, and they couldn't close the lid. I can't even do a plank. I shouldn't talk. But this would be a good time to point out that we are very forward-thinking here at on Social Distance News Network. We are big into TikTok. TikTok is the app that people put on their dances that they do. And so I composed a dance myself, an interpretive dance. This dance is dedicated to all the brave law enforcement officers out there who put their lives on the line every day to keep us safe and to enforce the law. I call this the stop and frisk. Thank you. Thank you. Now turning to the world of sports, LeBron James and the LA Lakers won the NBA championship. Clayton Kershaw and the LA Dodgers won the World Series. Victor Hedman and the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup. And Amy Coney Barrett and the Republicans won the Supreme Court. Brett Kavanaugh was named the MVP, most valuable partier. In other sports news, this weekend's football game between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals was so bad that at halftime the NFL told Fox to stop showing it because they were already losing enough fans as it was. Roger Goodell released a statement that said that from now on, this cross-Ohio State football game shall be known as the Toilet Bowl. And now for some sports commentary. I know I speak for all sports fans when I say that we're all happy that football is back. Pro football and college football, it's great to be able to watch them on TV, but that fake crowd noise is not fooling anybody, okay? Although I could really use some of it right now. So Chris, could you please give me like 75 decibels or something, please, here? A breaking bulletin. I've just received a breaking bulletin. Local law enforcement are advising us that tonight there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere in the town. We will update the story if we have further information about the location. Now a word from our sponsor. Soup. Soup for your family. Alphabet. Tomato. Chicken noodle. Soup. For your family. Here on Social News Network, we have a new feature called News from the Future. We have seen that in Georgia, they've done a recount. Currently, Joe Biden is ahead by 14,000 votes. But after the recount, they're going to flip 15,000, and we're going to get 4 more years of Trump in the White House. Other future news before the president, his term is over, the U.S. will assassinate another Iranian general with a drone. Here's an artist's depiction of what that drone will look like. But this is kind of a troubling aspect of the news these days, is that Fox News commentators are going to work in the White House. I want to make sure I get these names right. Army General Anthony Tata, he said that Obama was a terrorist. He's now in charge of the Pentagon. Douglas McGregor, who has complained about Muslim invaders, is also in charge of the Pentagon. So we can thank Fox News for the coup that's coming. Dr. Scott Atlas came from Fox News to become the United States COVID specialist doctor. And what I think is that I want a cabinet position. Tech savvy deserves a cabinet position in the new Biden administration. I don't know exactly which post I would serve in. It doesn't matter because they all pay the same. I want you all to, later on tonight, make sure you tune in to fill your tag later on tonight. But right now I want to welcome to the stage our last comedian of the night, Nathan St Onge.
Hello. Hello. How is everyone? What a fucking trip. What a fucking bummer. What a goddamn drag. I'm glad I can't see up here. I've seen enough. I've seen quite enough. You know, this was supposed to be a duet set for me, myself and my tall, dark, handsome, funny brother, Ian St Onge. Let's hear it for my brother Ian, who couldn't make it tonight. Ian was a close contact last week and got tested and he's fine. It's been long enough that we know he's not sick, but he is pretty pissed off and at home tonight, dying of boredom. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate for you all because he is so funny. And I was really counting on him to carry this show. And it's really unfortunate for all of you at home because he's so handsome and just so charming in general. And you don't get to witness that at all. You just get this middle-aged twink. Oh yeah, and I have no set at all. That was really our bit. I've got all these random notes here. I don't think this will get us anywhere. I wanted to thank Abby Gillespie. Let's give it up for Abby again for, for just really for coming up here tonight and doing a comedy set. That was so nice of her. By the time she was complaining about everyone being quiet, she had already taken in all the laughs that had happened. It just wasn't enough. You deserve it. I think you're over there somewhere. Yeah, all these notes, where would I have ever gotten, you know, some of these things are just sort of random. Ian and I do comedy in a really random sense. We've known each other since the day he was born, so we've got a great rapport. And so these notes, anything I've got in here that had anything to do with our set, it's all one-sided. You can't set them up, you can't knock them down. There's no leading into it. I wanted him to ask me if I read the Bible so that I could say, no, but I love the source material. I don't know where that was going to be strung out from something that was maybe political or not. I have no idea. Oh, let's give it up for Tim Miller for reminding us all that you can just be racist and sexist as hell if you want. There's nothing anybody can do about it. You know, you're such a legitimate nerd that people don't hear it coming out of you, but that's how we got into the trouble we're in now. That's fucked up. But no, yeah, now I feel free to spout cuss words. I thought that was off limits here. I guess all bets are off completely. And that's okay because, I mean, certainly there's no kids still up at this hour. But if they were, I mean, why are we protecting them from the F word? What is that at this point? Why would we strip that little bit of enjoyment from kids who have no future at all? You know, kids, the word is F-U-C-K. It doesn't mean anything. It just kind of feels good to utter every once in a while. Say it. Practice on your mom. Oh, I caught a headline before I came up here tonight. It said, Biden moves forward with transition as U.S. grapples with COVID surge. I did not know Biden was transitioning. And I think that's wonderful. That's the first thing I've ever heard that I like about him. Of course, I can't stand Trump. He's not worth anyone's hate, but Biden either. I mean, Biden's a fucking pig. Kamala Harris is a fucking pig. Those people suck. They're going to put the left back to sleep and lead us right into the next thing, which will surely be an organized, quiet fascist, unlike the clown face fuckwad we just got rid of. Anyways, maybe that's not funny. It's not funny, but we have to try to laugh at something because it's very true. Fuck Biden Harris. You'll be hearing that a lot from me in the next 4 years. What else? Oh yeah, Biden. You know, I coined a term for him, the kinder, gentler rapist. I think that's pretty legit. Screw that guy. Republicans and Democrats, I mean, who even cares anymore? Republicans are honest, you know. They just say, this is what we want and we almost have it and fuck you all. Democrats, on the other hand, say things like, you know, hey, look, everyone, a brand new school bus and totally not a crime against humanity on wheels that we painted yellow right before this press conference. God, those people suck. Any Democrats in the audience tonight? I don't know how I really feel at all. AMAC, AMAC, what is that? What's the thing about ACAB? All cops are bad. My AMAC stands for all men are cops. And I try not to identify, but I'm pretty stuck, and I've come to terms with it. There's a penis in my pants, and so long as that's the case, I need to fucking watch my own ass because I'm in trouble. It's bad, it's not good. Biden's transitioning, I might transition too. Progressive fascism, what the fuck does that say? Oh, right, progressive, yeah, I'm not sure that note makes any sense. Progressive fascism, I'm not a progressive, I'm a fascist, I'm a real fascist. I don't think we should just have free health care. I think we should be required to go to the doctor every day. That's the same with education. I don't just think that college should be free. I think everyone should be required to attend. And you can study anything you want, even business, but business students should have to pay. A lot. Win, lose, or draw. Oh, this was from the top of the set. I'm sorry I'm late. I forgot to say. I'm sorry I'm late. I wasn't late. I wasn't actually late. My mother was late. And then I was right on time. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is super weird. Let's play a game. Let's have a debate. Zett, will you come up to the stage and play with me for a little while? I'll put a mask on.
Could I retry the joke that didn't work earlier?
Please.
The joke was, don't go up to a Trump supporter, play this noise. There we go. Thank you. That was definitely worth waiting another hour and a half for.
Play with me.
Okay.
How long do we have here?
Oh, I don't know. However long we have, or we want, I guess.
Someone's a moderator. Abby, you're the moderator. We're
Okay.
gonna have a debate.
Okay.
Let's have a debate. It's
Great.
come down to two progressive candidates, and we're about to find out who's more progressive.
Oh boy.
Abby, can one of us start speaking? Who can start speaking? Yes!
The progressive fascist can have the stage.
Was that me? That's me. I wasn't sure if that's me because I just talk so much shit all the time. I don't even know what I said, but that sounds like something I said recently. And that's an America I believe in, where freedom of speech is so out the window that, no, I'm a progressive fascist. I don't believe in freedom of speech at all. I think that if you step outside of our new progressive constitution with your words, you should be murdered in the face.
Okay, so that was actually the Republican from the Democrat, Z. What do you think is the best part about just this year being almost over?
Oh, well, there are definitely less people. That's it.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, and you put me on the spot. I don't give a shit how this goes. What do you think about cats? And make sure not to make this political. That's your dare. Go for it.
Cats, nothing political. I love cats. I love kitties. Does anyone else love kitties?
I love cats. Well, not the musical, but I love cats.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
this is a shit show.
Yeah, it's not going good.
I mean, like, at least in improv, you can run in front of the stage and then everybody gets the fuck off. Can we do that? Oh, all right, that
Careful
was
of the
fun.
cord.
You have to toss me a fucking bone here. Okay, and our final question is, I want you guys to give each other a compliment.
Oh, you first.
You do it.
Zett, ever since I've known you 4 or 5 names ago, you're just positively one of my favorite people on earth. That's all there is to it.
Aw, thank you. Sure.
Wow, comedians are heartless.
I love that no matter like what I go through or what announcements I make, you always message me like right afterward, and you're just like, "Hey, I'm proud of you. You're really sweet."
This was supposed to be funny.
I know. I don't know. You know what? Just a note. You mentioned the marijuana bills. We helped put that on the ballot. So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was field lead, and I was making everybody do the calls. Like, I was a boss. I had like 10 people working under me.
Wow.
Yeah, they did not think I was funny.
I left as soon as the canvassing, like the in-person canvassing, was over, and I
Yeah.
just went on unemployment because I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, you probably got paid
just
more that
anything.
way.
Didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, something I remembered. You were talking about well, we were all talking about Trump. Him and his wife sleep in different rooms. Did you know that?
Oh, who didn't know that already? Okay, like Melania, like you know for a fact she was in New York for how long, being like, no, we're renegotiating my contract. I am not going back to the White House. Fuck you. It's like those videos of her like swatting his hand away. And then everyone's like, did you know they sleep in different rooms? It's like, yeah, no shit.
Different, separate rooms. They sleep in different rooms every night. They sleep in separate rooms from each other.
Yes.
Were you asking 2 different questions, or
That
was
was the same question, but 2 different ways. They both sounded good, though.
Okay.
I think I just won this debate.
Congrats.
That's
Okay.
clear.
I'm getting the fuck off the stage.
Careful of the smartboard. There's a virtual smartboard behind you. I don't know how to end this.
It's your show.
Cool. So I get any money you can give if you feel like giving money after this weird ass show. It goes to the Montana Racial Equity Project. GiveButter.com/UZ9HIF. Do you, any final words?
Bye.
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 Bye. I'm gonna go to